Your support helps us bring you programs you love. Go to wyomingpbs.org, click on Support, and become a sustaining member or an annual member. It's easy and secure. Thank you.
In the late 1990s, the operating budget of the Boys and Girls Club, the Central Wyoming Boys and Girls Club in Casper, was about $200,000. Today, annually, that budget is $2.8 million. We're here with the Chief Executive Officer of the Boys and Girls Club, Ashley Bright. We'll tour the wonderful facility and we'll learn about the services provided to not hundreds, but thousands of Casper area youth at the Central Wyoming Boys and Girls Club. That's next on Wyoming Chronicle. Ashley Bright is the Chief Executive Officer of the Central Wyoming Boys and Girls Club. Ashley, welcome to Wyoming Chronicle.
Glad to be with you, Craig.
Ashley, let's start first with the great stuff. There are how many Boys and Girls Clubs in America, and how does Wyoming, or Central Wyoming Boys and Girls Club fit?
Sure. There's 2,200 organizations serving 4,000 clubs across the country, and we are a local affiliate of the national organization. We're autonomous from the national organization. They provide field support and training and marketing and overall field tested programs. And so we're a local affiliate of Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and we are very proud of what we have accomplished here in Central Wyoming. Easily, we're in the top 3 to 5% in the country in terms of programming, space, facility, and operations.
Now, we're in a wonderful facility here in Casper.
Yes.
But you also serve schools in Casper. You serve the community of Glen Rock. Tell us about all of the outreach that you do, Ashley, and the number of folks that you're serving each and every day.
Absolutely. The organization started in 1969 as the Boys Clubs of Wyoming. And from there, we transformed into, in 1990, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Wyoming. And we had one location for a long time, and just in the past decade, we now serve in the school. We also serve schools, and we also serve Glen Rock. In Glen Rock, we have a rec center. We're serving in a rec center that used to be a school. Now it's a rec center. And here in Casper, we have 4 elementary schools that we work with, along with this flagship, and then our teen site is also chartered. So we have 7 chartered locations in Boys and Girls Clubs.
Now, it's important, I think, for our viewers to understand that when a young girl or boy, ages 5 through 18 participates in the Boys and Girls Club, they're not just dropped off. You've got a plan for kids at different ages. How has that curriculum, how has that science been studied? How has it evolved?
Everything that we do is pointed to academic success, healthy habits, and building good character and leadership within youth and people. And so we've designed dynamic programs every day that meet those outcomes. And it's in physical fitness, health and physical fitness, social recreation, education, homework help and tutoring, programs that are geared towards the arts, and as well as performing arts and physical fitness activities. So everything it's as big as your imagination. So the programs touch something for everyone that walks in the Boys and Girls Club.
At the Boys and Girls Club here, we certainly have after-school programs. You also serve a homeschool community.
That's correct.
Tell me about that.
Sure. I think it's been about 14 years we've served the homeschool community, and how that came about. These are kids that are taught school at home. They needed some recreation outlet, and we approached them, and they approached us. We said, "Hey, our facility is open before school, and would you all like to be part of a PE program that we would teach homeschool kids?" And so that's really how that began, and we have a long tradition of serving homeschoolers here in Central Wyoming.
Is there a composite makeup of a child who uses Boys and Girls Club? In other words, a specific demographic, Are they spread out through socioeconomic stratas? Who comes to the Boys and Girls Club?
The mission is to serve all youth with special concern for those kids who need us most. So really, it encompasses every type of child, and there's circumstances that all of us have, and we open it up to every child who would like to be a Boys and Girls Club member.
What's the vision for the Central Wyoming Boys and Girls Club? Are you as big as you can be? Do you have more work to do? Where are you going?
We always have more work to do. We want to reach capacity in every location, and that could mean serving 60 to 80 kids per site in the schools, and up to 225 kids per day after school here. And so we really look at where we are capacity-wise, and then once we reach the capacity number, then we look to expand. And we are currently looking to expand in the next 3 years to 2 teen locations. And those would be partnerships with the school district in the middle schools.
So I want to explore the relationship with schools a
Yes.
little more. Actually, I think it's fascinating. Generally, you think of schools being autonomous and separate.
Mm-hmm.
You've actually cultivated now a relationship with Casper Schools. You're in the schools. You're doing the programming, the vetting, the teaching, the training.
Mm-hmm.
How did that relationship develop?
It really starts with the heart of the principal, and us coming in and saying, is there a need for after school programming and summer programming? And they would say, and the conversation goes, yeah, we really have that need, we really have that desire. And then it's communication back and forth. What's the school's goals? Here's what we can provide. They provide the space, we can provide staffing, and accomplish things together.
You have a downturn in Wyoming's economy.
Mm-hmm.
You also have the need to raise money.
Mm-hmm.
So you may be looking at the need to serve more kids who might need it.
Right.
Against a backdrop of a tougher economy to raise funds.
Mm-hmm.
Is that concerning to you?
You know, I don't know. For me, it's it capitalizes on relationships, and trust. So as long as we're providing results at the end of the day, and that's serving kids effectively with positive outcomes, then the funds will be there, and we just have to do a real great job of building those relationships and showing those results while having the trust with the leadership.
2 things in Wyoming that have come to our mind recently, Ashley, are Wyoming's graduation rates
Mm-hmm.
and Wyoming's suicide rates
Right.
with teens. Do Boys and Girls Clubs impact those in a positive way? Do we know from research whether that's positive or a given as far as results go?
We are seeing some positive results in graduation rates. Kids in Boys and Girls Clubs, 95% of them talk about graduation and going to college. And so we do have some outcomes pointing towards graduation rates and getting some results of kids that are attending Boys and Girls Clubs and where their lives are going and what their goals are. And we are there to mentor them and point them to graduation and beyond. So we are seeing some very good results there. On the suicide front, we are, just as everybody, very concerned. As a youth development professional, this is my problem. So we are currently reaching out to counseling services, and we actually on the table now have a program that we're going to be launching. It's really a support group here in the Boys and Girls Club for those kids who are contemplating that choice at some point.
Do you come across in your relationships that you're cultivating some misconceptions about Boys and Girls Club that you address perhaps more often than you would like?
We just really highlight, Craig, that we're a positive place for kids. We're open to all kids. We have dynamic programs with world-class professionals in world-class facilities, and we just continue to present that message to the parents in the community.
Who supports the Central Wyoming Boys and Girls Club? Is it a mixture of private and public support?
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Individuals, about 20% are from individuals right now. We have grants and foundations that really come in and support us, both on the mostly on the private side, but we do have a few a little bit of government funding does support, and then general contributions. And then we have a small percentage on fees, athletic fees, and some of the programming fees that we have. And even in fees, they're low cost and no cost. Even with that, we won't turn anybody away for financial reasons. So we work with every family and every parent to make sure that they can afford to belong to the Boys and Girls Club.
Is it a challenge, Ashley, to keep kids involved if they're here when they're 5 years old, 6 years old, 8 years old, but now we're becoming a teenager, and now we want to start branching out? Are you reaching out? Are you getting at those kids that really need the help, that are at those critical teenage years, that maybe want to blow off and do something else?
It's really one of our initiatives, Craig. We really are working to retain members and create those programs in their later years, in their teen years, that they're excited to be a part of. And so we are really on the cutting edge of the year of the teen, which is why we're looking at expanding teen programs. And we have built our infrastructure in the teen program so that we can better serve the teens. And right now, our teen population is about 30% of our membership, and we want to get that to 40, 50%. We have some goals to do that.
We have a couple minutes left, Ashley, in our time together. Nationally, what's happening with Boys and Girls Club? Is it waning because of all of the other things that are now kind of pulling at kids? Is it growing nationally? What's the direction of Boys and Girls Club?
It's an excellent direction right now. Boys and Girls Clubs, they're looking at, Boys and Girls Clubs of America is looking at communities that can support and sustain Boys and Girls Clubs, which is one of the goals that we have. Is we're looking at the state of Wyoming is what can we do in central Wyoming to support communities that may desire a Boys and Girls Club. So Boys and Girls Clubs of America is supporting community Boys and Girls Clubs through solid organizations, which is why we're approached quite a bit in terms of impacting the state of Wyoming.
Lastly, Ashley, you not only have programs here, but you interface with the city of Casper in some of your recreation programs. Talk to me about those just a little bit.
You bet. In our healthy lifestyle programs, from sports and the skate park, those are some examples that we work with the city of Casper. We also we use their ball fields. We collaborate on a lot of tournaments and again, recreation opportunities with the city of Casper.
The future really looks bright. This is a surprising facility.
Yes. This is a facility that, again, is it's one of the best in the nation with the great staff we have. We are so proud of what we do in Central Wyoming through the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Wyoming.
Congratulations on your work.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Craig.
you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I want to tell our viewers now we want to take a tour of this wonderful facility and see some of the great programs that are being presented here, and that's where we're off to right now. We've just come into front doors, literally, and we're in a large area with a lot of great games. What area are we in, Brian?
We are entering our game room. In our game room programming, we have great pool tables to play on, foosball, air hockey tables. There's a ping pong table out here, which I'm the best at, in case anybody wants to play me. But we also use this space for lots of different activities. We do education out here. We'll use this for coloring contests. We've done construction contests. Each night we have a program we call Fitness Energizers, where the kids will actually use this room and they do some sort of exercise activity as well.
I think it's important to point out that it's not that kids are dropped off here and just let go. Everything has a purpose. You have curriculums. You have science behind what you do. Describe how that works, that really this room isn't all just about play. Kids are really supposed to learn something here.
They are. With the Boys and Girls Club, we have 3 priority outcome areas that we try to program in, and those 3 priority outcome areas are academic success, good character and citizenship, as well as healthy lifestyles. So all that we program fits within those 3 components. And we don't just offer a program just to offer it. We want it to reach one of those priority outcomes so that it's effective, it's impactful, and really is making a difference in the members we serve. It's something that they not only have an impact and improve their life, but something that hopefully they'll carry with them for the rest of their lives.
It's not just a palm all, do your own thing. There's real structure here, even though kids are playing and having fun. How many kids, Brian, will come through the front doors every day?
At this site, we're serving during our after-school program 150 to 200 kids every day after school. Within that, though, we also have Roosevelt, which is a high school that's in our vicinity, comes and has breakfast here. We also do our homeschool PE program. We have sports leagues going on. And then, as Derek briefly mentioned, we also have school sites as well. We have a site at Paradise Valley Elementary School, Mills Elementary School, Verta James, Glen Rock. So overall, each day after school, we're serving close to 500 kids. During the summer, that's upwards closer to 600 kids. And then as well as probably over 3,000 different sports league kids as well throughout the year. So
Brian, we're in the Learning Center now, is that correct? What happens here?
So after school program, when the kids first get here, we use this area primarily for Power Hour. And what Power Hour is a program for the kids to do their homework. They get incentives for doing their homework every day. We keep track of points. They can earn prizes just for doing their homework. We have one full-time staff that operates this area. He'll see upwards of 50 kids a day doing their homework every day after school, but we also have Casper College helps us out with some volunteers as well to help those kids
almost
with
some
homework.
tutor support?
Yeah, some
Did you
tutor
get from
support,
kids? And how did that relationship start?
That's a relationship that we brokered with them. Just got a hold of some of the instructors up there and cultivated it. So.
And what age of kids will be in here after school?
We serve kindergarten all the way up to seniors in high school. We could see any age, kindergarten all the way up.
So a boy or girl who uses the Central Wyoming Boys and Girls Club, are you seeing the same kids every day? Some kids come here once a week. Is it just kind of hit and miss, or what's the structure of attendance, I guess?
It's different for each family. Some families use us every day, so we'll see those kids 5 days a week. Some maybe have a schedule at home that they can only need our services maybe Tuesdays or Thursdays. But for the majority of the part, most of the members that we have here are pretty frequent attendees and attend 2 or more times a week.
And literally any child can participate. Money is not an issue. What is a monthly fee or a yearly fee for someone who's interested in Boys and Girls Club?
So there's a $10 membership fee to join, and then our after-school fees is $30 a week for the first child, half price after your first child. But we do not turn kids away. We will go out of the way to help them out. So if someone wants to come down here, there's a way that it can happen. So.
We not only have indoor activities, we've got the great outdoors. We're in the playground area.
Yeah, so our facility is wonderful because not only do we have this great playground here, we have a courtyard as well. We have a grassy area on the side of the building. Out here on the playground, we don't just do free playground time all the time. There's obstacle courses set up, different challenges. We really try to challenge the kids physically as well to push themselves. During the summer, we also have water days where we have big blow-up water slides, slip and slides, squirt guns, so it's a blast for the kids.
And Eric, you talked earlier about the outdoor sports activities that you guys have, a big important piece of what you do.
It is, really. Sports are a real big part of our program. We offer a year-round sports program. It starts in the fall when school starts with the flag football that we have in the fields just across the street over here. We do indoor soccer. We follow that up after Christmas break with basketball. And we just wrap that up with our March Madness, a big March Madness game that we have. It's a Saturday festivity and really brings in a lot of spectators.
It's almost year-round.
It is. Our sports program goes year-round. We have thousands of kids that participate in that.
Literally thousands.
Thousands. And it's, it's designed to promote skill improvement, good sportsmanship, healthy lifestyles.
And with that many people, is it volunteers that you're depending on to help you run those leagues? And are they trained? Do they have a purpose when they're working with Boys and Girls Club?
They do. We do have staff that oversee those areas, but a big part of the success of our programs, our youth programs, our sports programs, is that volunteer parent who will help us coach those teams
A gymnasium, you have a couple of them here.
Yeah, we're very lucky we have 2 gymnasiums. We operate all of our sports programming out of our site here, our sports leagues, as well as after school. We do physical fitness in here. We have guest speakers. We've had concerts. We really use this space for a little bit of everything.
But again, it's not a space where somebody is just dropped off and they can just run around. There are activities that are organized and controlled and supervised.
Absolutely, the activities are organized, and really first and foremost is safety with all of our members. So whatever program we're running, we make sure that safety is first with that. You can see we do have 2 staff in this room right now overseeing it. We try to stay with a 1/20 ratio when we're indoors. So safety is first and foremost, background checks with all our staff. And
is it the case where you're out of space sometimes, where you want to serve more but can't, or you figure out a way to serve everyone?
You know, this organization really strives to be able to serve everyone. That's where we have those school sites as well. So we really try to have the ability to serve everyone.
Talk about the school sites just briefly. You just reached out to schools and you do programming in schools after school for latchkey kids. Is that primarily what you do?
So those sites, they're full Boys and Girls Club sites after school. The schools are gracious enough to let us use their facilities, but they
open them up and say, program, supervise, go.
Yeah, they'll provide us with the gym or a cafeteria and a couple classrooms to provide space for us, and they run the same great programming that we do out of this site at those sites.
But it's a Boys and Girls Club program in the schools.
Yep.
So we've got rooms for smaller and programs for smaller kids, medium kids, and older kids. This is the teen center.
that's correct. This is for the teens. We call this the club. It's a separate area within our organization, within this building. Kind of separates the teen members from the elementary age members. They have age-appropriate programming that takes place in here, just more career readiness type stuff, college education. They do a lot of college visits, sample job interviews, that type of stuff, to really get them ready for the next step after high school.
A lot of technology in the room here. There's game stations, TVs, computers. What are the kids doing usually in technology here?
You know, they really, from looking for scholarships to learning how to use the computers, they do a little bit of everything in here. One of the most amazing things about our teen program too is it's only $10 a year for members to participate. They can participate in the same hours that the rest of the club offers. And really, just like with all areas of the club, it is fun with a purpose. They try to make it so it's a draw for teenagers to come in here. They want to participate, but they're also getting character development as long as with learning technology, along with finding scholarships. So it does a little bit of everything.
I like the teen center. We're in the technology center now. Probably a place for older kids, but not necessarily maybe.
No, we actually cater to all ages in here. We'll have kindergartners working on typing, learning how to use Microsoft Word. We also use all kinds of different educational websites, so appropriate games for those ages. But it does cater to those older kids, whether they're doing movie design, claymation, as well as music programming up here. So,
I mean, technology, some parents might look at this and just think, uh-oh, what are they browsing? Where are they really going? Is there protections for kids and families here?
There is protection. We have a NetSmarts program. A lot of other programs we have parent permission requests. So it is really safety, like I said before, safety is first and foremost with what we do. We have a full-time staff that oversees everything that happens in here, does a great job with it, offers numerous activities, like Brian mentioned some of them, but safety is always first and foremost with that.
So do you have club members that gravitate, that are here almost every day doing things, if they're working on movies or doing things that really has grabbed them?
We do. As you can imagine with computers, it's a draw for kids. Sometimes to a point where they want to be up here too much. So we do cater where they can only spend so much time up here during certain times. Also, they'll do physical fitness up here as well every single day. So
how does physical fitness work in a tech lab?
You know, they're very inventive, whether it's you know, pick a card and we do this number of jumping jacks to, you know, different times, different kids will have they'll have different colors. When he calls that color comes out and they have to do 5 or 6 push-ups or something. Gets the blood flowing, keeps those guys on task, but also gets them some exercise while they're up here as well.
Hi, I'm Jessica Baxter. I'm a director of operations for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Wyoming.
Jessica, we're in this beautiful place, Wyotown. What is it? It's awesome.
Yes, so Young Ameritown Wyotown is the very first center of its kind in Wyoming. It is a financial literacy center, but it's so much more than that. It's a place where kids come to learn about free enterprise, civics, personal financial literacy, business financial literacy, and just basically what we call being an adult 101.
And when you say kids, it's primarily 5th graders? Is
Yes.
this what it's tailored to?
Yes, this facility particularly is focused on 5th graders with a range of 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, depending on the school need.
So someone might come here, they might learn to be a banker, they might write a business plan, they might be the mayor.
Correct.
What other sorts of occupations are they having exposure to here?
Well, the students do much of the work back in their classrooms. We partner with schools, and the teachers teach a 6-week curriculum where students build all kinds of skills, from filling out a job application, they do a job interview, and they get to select what kinds of jobs they want to interview for. They could be a radio station DJ, they can even run for mayor or judge, and in the classroom they actually have an election to elect those positions, and those students have to prepare a speech and a campaign, and then the students actually take a vote in their classrooms. So all kinds of different things, from bankers to they could be a newspaper editor or a writer for the newspaper, a salesperson and be selling some of the wares around town. You have television station, a photojournalist, and every shop has also a manager and an accountant. So students can take any interest that they have and turn it into a job here at Wyotown. What actually happens here is that these can be torn down, put into our traveling van, and our goal is to take this around the state, because Wyoming, we're so far away from each other that 2 hours is quite a ways for kids to travel on a bus to come to Wyotown, but we can take Wyotown to them. Up in that northeast part of the state, we could settle in Gillette or Newcastle, and all those smaller areas surrounding could then come and experience Wyotown right there in their local community, as opposed to having to travel. So this was built purposefully to go on the road. But then, while that's happening, other things can be happening in this facility as well. We can have other programming for other ages, entrepreneurship programming, all kinds of different things happening. This facility is multi-use, and we want it to be a community center for financial literacy.